everyone, my name is Lucy. I'm 23 years old and recently graduated from college in May of 2025, and now I'm trying to pay off all the debt I have in 1 year. I make these videos to keep myself accountable, so if you want to follow along, feel free to watch. But for now, here's the November financial reset. So let's start off with finishing October. October was a really rough month. I spent a lot more than I planned to. Um, a lot more in debt as well. But this was there was an incident. There was a very large incident, and I spent a lot more money than I had planned to. A lot more. So this $2,000 and this transportation money, they're for the same thing. So I am a K-pop fan, and Twice's concert came out, and I bought tickets, right? But unfortunately, I had to do the pre-sale, and I uh I got tickets for the first show, and I didn't really like them, and so I was like, okay, I'll just deal with it. But then they added another show to my location, and so I was like, well, might as well just get better tickets here, and then sell my first ones. It turns out I can't sell my first ones, so I'm down about $1,000 from that. I think 900 to $1,000. So that was pretty rough. I also bought tickets to another concert. Those were cheaper, but so as you can see here, there's two Twices. There's 117. That was pretty cheap. There's a Rise. That one is tomorrow, so that's fun. When I'm making this, it's tomorrow. And Cardi B and Mona Leo. So yeah, I think that was the bulk of my miscellaneous. Let's see how much that totaled up to. Yeah, that's about 1,200. 1,243. Let's see what else. I did buy a Patreon subscription for a year. Oh, and a hotel. I did plan another hotel for a trip in January. So that also adds to my total. I think that's all that I have. But don't worry, all of that will be paid off before my credit card statements are due in September of next year. I have 0% on my credit cards right now, but this month was really bad. As you can see, like my debt was supposed to be 93% of my savings, and in actuality, it turned out to be only 66, and miscellaneous was 26. There's also some Amazon spending in there, so that is really bad. So let's go into the overall view. So to start off, as my salary, I did make the same amount that I do usually, so it's around $4,900 a month is my salary. I get that 2,500 biweekly or something, close to that. And then I did get my reimbursement for a work trip I did that I put on my credit card. I got my work trip reimbursement back, and so that is that extra money that you see. And I did pay some of my credit card statement off with that. Then I also put some on my biggest interest loan. So yeah, and then assets, my car is 12,000 around, and in cashback I have around $720 just due to a bulk spending. For next year, I am going to start taking my car out of my assets. Oh, this is my new tracker for next year. That's kind of exciting. I haven't shown you guys this yet, but I did change some things, and I hope it makes it look nicer on screen. But anyway, I'm going to stop counting my car and my assets. For now, I still have my car and my assets, so in total I have around $12,720. In my checkings at the end of the month, I have around $190. In my savings, I have $2,929. There was a bit of a dip this year, so I did put some more money into my brokerage account. So I did decide that that was worth it for me to just take some money out of my savings and put it into my brokerage account. And so that's what I did. And in cash, my cash went down by a little bit, but that's fine. And then my retirement, I also put a little bit more in my retirement. Not much, as you can see, but yeah. Now let's move on to liabilities. So I have not started paying off my federal student loans yet. They are not due. They start in November. So they start in November. So this month I will start paying that off, and so you guys will see that go down. My second student loan is at a 6.9%, 89% interest rate, and that pay off $200 of this per month. So that went from 10,867 to 10,718. So that interest is still accruing. So that's why I didn't go down by the first 200, but that's okay. And then my biggest loan the loan that I've been paying off because it's at 8.14% interest, is my private student loan for my last year of graduate school, which I just got. So you can see that in January I was around 24,000, and then in July is when I started paying it off. So it's around 20,483 at the start of July, and right now at the end of October it is $7,324.84. So I've been really grinding on paying that down. I pay around $1,918 every paycheck. So in total, I pay $3,836 towards this per month, and that has not stopped. So, and won't stop until I pay it off. So that's why it's going down so quickly. And it should be done by the third week of December. That in December I get 3 paychecks, so during my second paycheck, that's when it should be done, and I will be so happy. It's actually been pretty hard paying this down because I do see the number getting lower, but unlike with the snowball method of debt paying off, like I don't see the debt going away. So it just feels like I'm not doing enough because the debt's not going away. And so I can't focus on paying off the other ones. But it's getting to that time where it's really close and I will be able to start paying down the other debts that I have. Speaking of other debts, let's move into my other loans. I do have a new loan now, my car warranty. So I had to get an extended warranty for my car that I was not expecting, and that was around 4,900 it started off as. Had to pay a down payment for that, and then the first payment came out at the end of October. So I do have that. It is 0% interest, so I'm just gonna pay that down as it comes. But that is why my debt has risen that much, along with I did pay the concert tickets on this. So that is why that has risen so much. So yeah, but my car has also gone down from 10,554 to 10,302. So slowly and steadily, everything's going down except my credit cards, but that's my own fault, and I need to curb my spending really badly. But like I said, these are 0% interest until a certain date, and I am not paying interest on them. I am paying no interest on it, and yeah, it's not going to push my overall debt payment back. I'm planning to pay these all off by September of next year, and so this is not pushing anything. All of my bad debt will be paid off at the same time, and the 0% interest will be paid off by the time that they need to be. So these are not being pushed anyway, so I'm okay with stacking a little bit on this. And yeah, so in total this month, my total with assets is 15,895. Without assets, it's around 3,175. And then my total debt has risen from 49,000 back up to 51,000, which it hasn't been that high since like August. You can see here, this is my monthly net worth. It did go back down a little bit, so that is unfortunate. But I will get it together. I'm not planning on going to any more concerts. I'm not planning on buying any more things. I will curb my Amazon spending. I just need to hold myself accountable, and I will do that. So if I don't hold myself accountable, please hit me. Sue me? I don't know. Please tell me to get it together. Anyway, but yeah. And so let's go into the overall spending. So for debt, this month I spent $5,803. I was planning on spending around 4,500, which is like what it usually is for a 2 paycheck month. I did pay off some of my credit card balance that came due to my work trips as I got reimbursed, I said this month. My student loans, I paid off 4,476, which is a little bit higher than I wanted, so that's all good. And then food, I did eat out a bit and get some groceries this month. I don't budget for groceries because I do live with my parents, so I don't pay rent or anything like that. But this month I did want some additional groceries, so I did get some groceries there. So yeah, that's not good. And then the bad category. Yeah, this is the bad category. This month I really, really spent a lot on miscellaneous, and I need to curb my spending really badly. I really need to curb my spending. Like I said, it was the concert tickets. I'm not planning on doing any more concerts or getting any more concerts. And so I will work on my spending here. And it's the concert tickets and Amazon and the hotel that I had. For the hotel, airplane credits that were expiring, and so I wanted to use them. And so I was like, okay, I'll just schedule a weekend vacation. And so I did that. And that is my excuse for the hotel cost, but the rest were all on me. I should not have done those concert tickets, but it is really hard to keep motivated, so I just wanted to do something besides pay off debt, essentially. And then my savings this month, I did put a bit more into my vacation and to my other savings. Last month, I put more in there because there was a small dip. There was a small dip. And I also got my security deposit back last month, so that is why I put some more in there. And then, yes, this is also because there was a small dip here, and I put some more money in there. My subscriptions are the same. I did cancel one of my subscriptions. I canceled my Viki subscription, so that is now gone because I didn't use it. And so, yeah, now I pay a little bit less per month there, so that is nice. I did buy some skincare. I do have a monthly skincare cost. I should actually put that in my budget for next month. And then finally, transportation. Gas was really low this month, actually. I was not expecting that. I usually budget about $200 a month for gas, and it was only $117 this month, so that's really good. And this was the most expensive. This is parking. I did have to park at the airport a few times for my job to travel. So that will be getting reimbursed. So subtract about $80 of this, maybe $90. So it's about $100. That won't be getting reimbursed, and that, like I said, was parking for my concert tickets. So in total this month, I spent $8,762.23, which is much over budget. I think as you can see, I've been over budget every single month this year. I'm really planning on not being over budget next year. I'm really planning on it, and I hope maybe this November I can be under budget. Maybe some other time I can be under budget. What's really killing me is this TP fund. I need to actually budget correctly. That's what I need to do. And yes. So, but next year I hope that at least a couple of these will be green and I won't be going over budget every single month. But yeah, for now. And so let's do my monthly network. So as you can see, it did go down. I am $2,000 more in debt, despite the fact that I did pay off $5,000 towards my debt. But like I said, that was for the concert tickets, etc. So that is my bad, and I need to work on that. The reason why it doesn't seem like it's been going down that much is also because I did decrease the estimate of my car by about $2,000 because I did get into a small fender bender that led to like a scratch on my car that I won't be getting fixed because it was really small. Some guy ran into me, is what it is. So I did take off $2,000 on my car for that, and that's why it's dropped down, and my net worth seems to not be increasing as much. That is one of the main reasons, but that's also why I want to take out my car from my assets because I really can't tell how much my car is worth, and it's really annoying trying to estimate that. But yeah, this was my first car accident. I'm really pissed about it, but it is what it is. And so I dropped that down by 2,000. I thought that was reasonable. I have no clue, so I'm gonna be taking the cars out of my assets. So yeah, let's start budgeting for November. So in November, I will be getting paid the same amount, and that will be the same amount as last time, plus my new debt amount of $194.94 for my car warranty. Savings is $100 as per usual. Subscriptions, that is still $40, even though I took out my Viki, because I do have a yearly subscription that I like to budget for, and so I keep that in there. TP fund, I'm getting my hair done this month because I really need a retie badly. Badly, I need a retie. So that I'm planning for that. That's $190, and transportation is usually $200 for gas. So yeah. So leftover is negative $384. Yeah, that's just gonna go on my credit card. I know that I'll pay it off myself, so I'm not worried about that. Like I said, I want to focus on the things that are accruing interest so that I can save money on that, and then know that I will be paying it off by the time, so I will accrue no interest. So I get that that's kind of controversial, but don't worry, I will be paying it off. And miscellaneous, I'm gonna give myself $120 for miscellaneous. Yes, I'm going to do that. Okay, so in total, I'm negative 500 down this month. Like I said, that'll go on my credit card. Like I said, I know that I'm not keeping to my budget this month. I'm trying my best, but I do make some mistakes. But I will get my life together and fix those. But yeah, here's the total yearly spend so far. Still 50% towards debt, and then 50% towards all the other things. That's pretty good. Miscellaneous is still my biggest spend, so that's pretty rough. But I'm gonna get it together, guys. I promise. This year so far, I've earned $33,000 and I've spent $50,000, so that's not good. Like I said, I really need to step up with my miscellaneous spending and stop spending some big miscellaneously. And I will do that this month. Actually, maybe more like December, but I'll do that soon. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.